Hey everyone, Aisha here. So I wanted to go live really quickly about the topic of gas prices. And the reason why I wanted to go live is because I've just been seeing some different things that was starting to kind of bother me, and I didn't understand like what was going on. And so, yeah. So what I have been seeing is a number of people who were upset at gas, the people who were, let me start over. So what I was seeing was a number of people who were getting angry at people who were upset over the high gas prices. So as you know, gas prices are on average over $4 a gallon now. And not that long ago, they were like around $2 a gallon. So we're looking at like 100% increase. And in some places, it's more than 100% increase. And so I wanted to go live to give you guys a little bit of perspective in hopes that you can have empathy for the people who are upset over gas prices. And because it's so much judgment and so much condemnation that I've seen like on my own personal timeline. And so I just felt the need to address it as someone who teaches personal finance and financial literacy and really, hey, how's it going? And who helps people with their money and who recognizes the emotions that come with money management, the shame that comes with money management, the difficulty at times that comes with money management. And so I wanted to be able to pop on here really quickly to give you some perspective in hopes, like I said, that you would have more empathy for the people who are upset. And so, number one, so I saw a post a couple of days ago and literally it upset me so much. I'm like, it just was so heartless and callous that I literally screenshot it, chopped off the person's name, and was about to post it with my response on my timeline. But then I was just like, that doesn't help anybody. That is not a good thing. Like, there's better ways to do this. But long story short, the post was talking about people with whose cars take premium gas, right? What this person was saying is that she was laughing at the people who have premium gas who are hurting right now. And what she was saying is that, yeah, if you couldn't afford that car with premium gas, you shouldn't have gotten it. And this is what financial literacy is for. Like, you wanted to floss and act like you have all this money and you're really broke and now you're suffering and you can't even go anywhere because you can't put gas in your car. I was just like, whoa, unkind, full stop, unkind, right? Because there are so many different layers to this. Number one, for many people, when they got their car, gas prices were not this high. This is a recent thing. And so when most people, what I hope with financial literacy is that when you buy your car, you look at the sticker and you see how much it says. The car says like how much it's going to cost annually. And then you divide that by 12 to be able to budget it in, and then divide that, that monthly cost by 4, so you can understand how much per week it's going to cost you, and then you put that in your budget. That is my hope, that what most people are doing. That is my hope. But this is the thing. When gas prices skyrocket 100% seemingly overnight, most people are not prepared for that. My hope is that when people do the math to figure out how much it's going to cost them to fill up their tank, they add about 20 to 30% to it because of the fluctuation of gas. So, I mean, that's what I do. I kind of look at it like with 20 to 30% fluctuation. I don't think anybody anticipated gas prices going up 100%. I don't think anybody did. And what I'm seeing in the news is that gas prices haven't been this high in like 12 years. So many people who are buying cars now have never seen gas prices this high. So to expect someone, whether they have whether their car takes regular or premium, to expect someone to be prepared for a 100% increase, that's actually not fair. The other thing is, it's not just people with premium cars who are dealing with the impact of gas. It is everyone. Premium gas is not the only gas that went up. It is all gas that went up. So to call out people and accuse somebody with a premium car of being financially illiterate and broke, and then to make fun at whoever's suffering it is actually callous and wrong. The other thing that I wanted to say is this condemnation over gas. I've been seeing it from people who have positions in the church. And so these are people with titles, with positions of authority in church, people who other people look up to in terms of spiritual discipleship, laughing and posting memes about people who are complaining about gas prices and are laughing at their suffering, which is wrong. And if you're someone who is in the church who is doing this, please stop. You are not modeling the love of Jesus. This is wrong. Jesus approached sinners all the time and called people out for their sin to their face, but he did it in love. Even the Pharisees, he called them out very specifically. But he still had a loving attitude. He was frustrated with them, but he never stopped showing love and compassion to people. Jesus sat with taxpayers, people who were not taxpayers, tax collectors, people who were abusing their authority in the Jewish religion, in the Jewish synagogue, people who were oppressing their own people. Jesus still sat and had dinner with them. And if that is how Jesus treated the sinners with compassion, love, and understanding, I don't understand why in 2022, while for people who have positions of authority in the church think that it's okay to make fun of people in their suffering over gas prices. It makes no sense and it is wrong. And people wonder why people who are outside of the church question whether it is safe for them to come into the church. I remember hearing this story one day about how Muhammad Ali, when he was looking at coming to religion, he looked at all the major religions and, Muhammad Ali was Islamic. And so he looked at all of the major religions and he actually said that he really loved Christianity because he loved Jesus, the message of Jesus, the compassion of Jesus. But the thing that caused him to not to accept Jesus as his Christ, as his Lord and Savior, was how Christians behave and how Christians talk and how Christians treat each other. So if you are a Christian and you are teasing people, condemning people, shaming people over their struggles over high gas prices, you are part of the problem. You are becoming part of a reason why other people might not come to Christ, because what we don't understand is that people watch our behavior. Some people only come to know Jesus because they come into contact with you. And so if you're sitting here on social media condemning people for being upset because they are hurting right now, then you are causing someone to stumble in their acceptance of Christ. And that is wrong. That is wrong. And so I want to put this in perspective to you, right? Because I want you to have empathy. This is what I said. I want you to have empathy. So I saw a story on social with a girl talking about her personal story. She said that back in 2007, when gas prices were really high, and she had an SUV. She was down to her last $5 and she had a decision to make. And I guess she must have got the car before the gas prices came up. I don't know the situation around her having the car, right? But whatever it was, she was down to her last $5 and that was all she had. She had a choice. Does she spend it on groceries or does she put $5 in her tank to be able to continue to get to work so she can earn a living? And so she made the decision that she was going to actually put her last $5 in her tank so she can get to work so she didn't lose her job. She was in the gas station and a guy overheard her say she only wanted to put $5. He saw what type of car she had. And what he did, he said, don't worry about the rest. How much do you need to fill up? And he put the fill up on his card so she could fill up her car. And she said, what you don't understand is that you were an answered prayer, because she had to choose between feeding herself and putting food in her car, putting gas in her car. And because that man stepped up and showed love and kindness to her, she was able to take her last $5 to fill up her belly and eat. So these are the type of decisions that people are making right now. Yes, there's a financial literacy problem in America. Yes, that needs to be addressed. But to lump everybody in together and accuse them of making irresponsible decisions and to say little shady things like, stop complaining, what are you going to do, walk? I think most people understand that they do have a choice, walk or fill up their car. But for most people, they need their car to get to work. So walking really isn't an option, right? And so they're making this hard decision to continue to fill up their tank and really just making do with the rest. And when I teach budgeting, I teach people that every dollar has to have a home. And so even if someone has excess, even if someone isn't struggling to fill up their tank, that money has to come from somewhere. And so for some people, that might be coming from doing something extra for themselves, maybe doing something extra for their kids. Maybe now they have to sacrifice an activity that they had their kids in because the price of gas skyrocketed so much. And now these people aren't necessarily making decisions like the one girl was about gas and food. They're making decisions about, do I continue to live the lifestyle that I have, to have my kids involved in the activities that they were in, or continue to do extras for myself or my family, and now they're having to cut that back. Maybe there's a mom who was finally able to pay for some self-care activities for herself, but now she has to cut that out because the money that she was now paying, that she used to pay for stuff for herself, now has to go to gas, and that money has to be rerouted. And so I'm trying to get you to understand that this isn't just a budgeting thing. This isn't just a personal finance thing. This is literally people having to restructure their lives and how they spend their money because of the cost of gas going up. When the cost of gas going up did not have to happen, it was avoidable on a policy level. See, we're talking economics right now. People are being affected by the decisions of leaders that were not good. And now people are suffering. The price of wheat has gone up as well. So not only are you dealing with a 100% increase in gas prices, you're dealing with about a 100%, I think, hopefully I have my numbers right, but the price of wheat, from what I've heard, has gone up even more than gas prices. So you have just like a trifecta of pressure on people financially, between gas, between wheat, between groceries, between inflation being at 7 to 8% on the year. So that means for every $100, people are paying $7 to $8 more. And that is coming out of people's budgets. That is coming out of people's households. This is causing real pain to people. Some people are having to decide, do they eat at this point? So have compassion on the suffering of people right now. Some people just are upset because their lives are being turned upside down because of pressures and things outside of their control, and they have no other space to process it. Have empathy for these people. I saw another post on social media from a friend of mine, and he was sharing a story. I don't know if he saw the story or if he knows the person, but someone actually took an extra job as a DoorDash driver just to be able to pay for gas for the things that this guy needed to do in his everyday life. So he took on a second job to be able to pay for gas in his everyday life. So what does that mean? That he has less time, and all of his money for his second job is going to pay for gas so he can live and continue to function. Have empathy on people and their suffering and what they're going through right now. And so I say all of this to say that this isn't just a financial issue, a financial literacy issue, because everybody who is suffering right now has not made poor decisions. And think about it too. Over the last 4 or 5 years or so, gas prices have been low. Think about the people who got their cars when gas was low. They can't get out of their leases. They can't get out of their car notes, their car loans. I was talking to somebody recently, and I was saying her car had a major repair needed to be done. And I said, see if you can trade your car in and get a new car for $0 down. And she said, I can't because I'm underwater on my car note. She owes more than what her trade-in is worth, and she needs to wait a couple of years before she's even able to trade in her car and not have to take on that extra cost into her new car note. So some people are literally trapped and they have no other options. And so if you see somebody and you have excess, I saw something with Stephen Colbert, he was saying he would be okay with gas going up to $15 a gallon because, he has a Tesla and he doesn't care and he has money to pay for it. Well, most people can't. Most people can't. And so what you'll be doing is condemning people who can and throw it in their face as an elitist because you can. So have some compassion. And so if you're somebody who has extra, who has excess, who isn't affected by these gas prices, whether you drive electric car or whether you just have extra money, well, maybe it's time for you to look to see how you can help people who are struggling. If you see somebody on your timeline sharing their stories and their hurts about how they're hurting because of gas prices, maybe it's time for you to sow into that person and get them a full tank of gas so that way they can continue to get to work and feed their family. Instead of posting little snarky statuses condemning and shaming people who are hurting, why don't you be a part of the solution and help these people to fill up their tank? Rather than laughing, do something about it. Rather than shaming, figure out how you can help. Because that's what people need. They don't need shame and condemnation. They need help. And so if I'm like, I know that this is just kind of direct. It's just on my heart because I am tired. I'm tired of seeing the ridicule. I'm tired of seeing the condemnation. I'm tired of seeing the laughing at other people's misery and suffering. Because it is wrong. And if you are someone who professes to love Jesus and you are a part of it, I am talking to you in love and I ask you to stop. Stop it. You are not helping anyone. And matter of fact, you are becoming a stumbling block to someone else's salvation. So I encourage you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, a lot of people are hurting. They are. So let's figure out how we can be the church. Let's figure out how we can help other people. Let's figure out how we can do something about someone else's suffering. And if you see someone in need, God allowed you eyes to see that person's need for a reason. It's because you can be a part of the solution to help that person. So I encourage you to be a part of the solution to help someone else in the name of Jesus. So that way that person sees the love of Jesus. That person can see that Jesus answers their prayers. And if they don't know Jesus, they can come to know him through you. And so I pray that this message blessed you. I pray that if you are part of the problem right now, I pray that this message helps to give you a bit more empathy and perspective to help someone else in their time of need. Because people are hurting. People are hurting. Grocery prices have skyrocketed. And so if you're in a position to help bring groceries to someone, then do it. Do it. Please help people. Don't be a part of the mockers. Don't be a part of the scoffers, because I think it's Psalm 1. Read Psalm 1. And it talks about mockers and scoffers. Like, don't be that. Be someone that shows the love of Christ to your neighbor. Look at now as a great time to be neighborly, to be the hands and feet of Jesus to a suffering and hurting generation. Show the love and light of the Lord and allow your light to shine forth in this world. Yeah, $60 for gas to get to the doctor's office. Wow, that's so crazy that someone's charging you $60 for gas to get to the doctor's office. Yeah, that's kind of wild. But yeah, and let's not take advantage of people too. Let's not take advantage of people too. And $60 can legit almost fill up a whole tank. So, but yeah, so I just wanted to say all of that. And I pray that this message blesses you. And if you are someone who is dealing with worry, fear, anxiety because of all that is going on in this world and in this economy right now, then I encourage you to head over to myideatoincome.com, myideatoincome.com to grab your copy of the Chaos to Calm devotional. It's 25 days of devotional messages to help you to overcome fear, worry, and anxiety. And these were the exact scriptures that the Lord gave to me that I used in my own life to make it through a time of fear, worry, and anxiety and stress in my life. And so I pray that this blesses you just as much as it blesses me. And like I said, please be a help to people who are in need. If you have the excess and you see someone suffering, help them, sow into them, and bless them so that they can get the help that they need, because you never know. Like, if you sow a full tank of gas into someone, you might have allowed that person to be able to get to work for the next week so that they can feed their family. Think about it, okay? Think about it before you tease someone for being upset at gas prices. And some people process their emotions on social media because they don't understand how else to do it. They might not have anybody else to talk to. So be a shoulder to lean on. Be a support for someone else. Do not stand in a place of mocking or scoffing or ridicule or shame. There's enough negativity in the world. Don't you be a part of it. All right. I pray that this bless you. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. I'm loving it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that this blessed you. All righty. Bye.